People whose first relationship was very long-term. What weird thing did you believe was normal until you started seeing other people? I started dating Evan when I was 16. He was my first everything. First kiss, first boyfriend, first Valentine's Day. By the time I hit 26, we'd been together a decade. And in all those years, he had this one habit that I thought every couple did. He controlled everything about my free time. If I wanted to hang out with friends, he'd suddenly get sick or say he needed me for something. If I had a hobby that didn't involve him, like painting or yoga, he'd make these little comments like, "That's kinda lame," or "Why don't you just do that with me instead?" So eventually, I stopped doing them. If I ever had a night to myself, he'd call or text non-stop until I gave up whatever I was doing and went to his place. Slowly, my entire life revolved around his schedule. And the scary part is, I thought that was normal. I thought couples were supposed to be each other's whole world to the point that nothing else mattered. At first, it even felt kind of flattering. Like, wow, he always wants to be with me. But after years of it, I didn't even know who I was outside of him. My friends drifted away because I never hung out. My mom once asked me why I never painted anymore, and I couldn't even remember the last time I'd picked up a brush. I genuinely believed that this was just what relationships look like. Your partner becomes your everything, and you sacrifice the rest. When we finally broke up at 26, it was messy. He accused me of not caring enough, of being selfish for wanting space. And even then, I remember thinking maybe he's right. It wasn't until months later, when I started dating again, that I realized just how wrong I'd been. The first guy I dated after Evan was Mark. We met through work, grabbed coffee a few times, and one Friday night, he invited me to a trivia night with his friends. I panicked. In my old relationship, doing something like that without Evan would have been a huge fight. I almost said no automatically. But then I thought, I'm single. I don't have to ask permission, so I went. And I had fun, actual fun. When I told Mark later that I felt guilty for going out without him, he looked at me like I had 3 heads. He said, "Why would you feel guilty? I want you to have fun. You don't need me attached at the hip for that." That hit me harder than it should have. Because in my old relationship, the idea of having separate lives wasn't just discouraged, it was impossible. With Mark, it was the opposite. If I told him I had plans, he'd encourage me to go. If I picked up painting again, he'd literally set up space in his apartment so I could work on my canvases when I visited. He celebrated me having my own life. And at first, it honestly scared me. I kept waiting for the guilt trip, the texts asking when I was coming back, the sulking if I dared to enjoy myself without him. But it never came. The weirdest moment of realization happened when I skipped a date night because I had tickets to see a band with my best friend. I texted Mark expecting him to be upset, maybe even start a fight. Instead, he replied, "Have the best time? Send me videos of your favorite songs." I stared at that text for 10 minutes because it was so foreign to me. A boyfriend who wanted me to enjoy things without him? That wasn't normal in my head, but the truth was, that was healthy. Looking back, I can't believe I lived a decade thinking my ex's behavior was love. I thought love meant giving up parts of yourself until you had nothing left but the relationship. Now I know real love is the opposite. It's about supporting each other's individuality, encouraging growth, and actually being happy when your partner finds joy outside of you. It took me years to unlearn what Evan taught me. I still catch myself sometimes apologizing for making plans without Mark, or feeling anxious when I don't text back right away. But every time he reassures me that I don't owe him my entire life, just my honesty and care, and slowly I'm learning that's what a real relationship should feel like.